Good evening and welcome to our first ever radio broadcast on Radio 1. Tonight's broadcast we will cover the headlines, news, and major events happening in Caledonia on the GlobalSphere server. We hope you enjoy the broadcast. Thank you.
Now for the nation's headlines. King Charles II ratified the House of Commons, allowing the common person to voice their opinions in government. The House of the Lords recently voted that the Constitution of Alba to be invalid, and Strong urges the King to begin constructing a new one. The King gave his New Year address promising many changes within the realm. The Royal Military grows stronger every day, now constructing naval vessels for trade. Construction in the Barony of Aberdeen to be extensive and no end in sight. And that is all the major headlines here in Scotland. Back to you.
Thank you. Wonderful news has recently been released by the royal family, that before the turn of the new year Queen Ellie of Austria gave birth to our dear Prince Philip. With news of the birth of our new prince, joy and celebration breaks out all throughout the realm, as the Hamilton dynasty continues on and the stability in Scotland likely to remain. Times are good in the empire. King Charles has called in his second court since taking the throne. No fresh faces are added to the court, but actually the opposite, as a few people have lost their court positions. This is something we've noticed during the current sovereign's reign, that the old archaic ways are being either replaced or merged with newer, more efficient methods.
Yes, I know, I was overwhelmed with joy when the news broke about the new prince. It was a moment of immense pride for the whole nation, but it absolutely had to be the most wonderful moment for our dear Queen Ellie. Moving on from the royal news, Parliament recently signs off on the King's new address purposing a 6-year plan, a plan where a new economic foundation is going to be created. A brand new constitution will be wrote by the sovereign alongside the House of Lords with assistance from the House of Commons. A brand new executive branch with a cabinet of secretaries, who will head departments in the King's name and handle a number of delegated governmental tasks, and a complete overhaul of our judicial system, giving an extensive amount of control to our dear Holy Church, who is now managed by the newly appointed Archbishop Callistus.
The King sure does have a lot of work ahead of him indeed. Anyways, speaking of the King, today is the King's Jubilee, a national holiday celebrating our great monarch and all he has accomplished and all the great things he has in store in the future. Today will be a day filled with a sense of national pride. Flags of Scotland will be on display almost everywhere you go, and in the evening there is a very large-scale fireworks display off the coast of Aberdeen. I do know one thing, I am not missing those fireworks.
In the world news, the Scottish colony of Carthage has purposed a new governmental building and courthouse to be built in the city, in return furthering their control in the region, which has been a focal point for this regime, to get a major footing in the Mediterranean Sea trade. The communist nation of Al-Watan withdraws from the military alliance ANCP following a French election, resulting in the French becoming a leading party in the alliance. Civil war concerns break out in Armenia after a nasty coup d'état by the Socialist Party to overthrow the nationalist government. Armenian nationalist leaders take refuge in Al-Watan. Other than in Eastern Europe, life is at peace in the GlobalSphere server.
This will conclude our news broadcast on Radio 1. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and remember, long live the King.